Did we just change the podcast name? All
Yeah.
right. Welcome back to the RDN Roller Show, overtime edition.
Oh yeah.
There we go. So, boys are back. We actually wanted to kind of break up the last pod into two. Wanted to talk about kind of a lot of pro roller, I guess you could say, just more pure roller. That podcast was going to be long. The interview was a great interview, and just to really dive into the beginning of Lebeda Freeze and really just how it began and where they're at now, and just future plans as well too. So.
Yeah, we thought the game that we're watching right now was gonna maybe go into OT, but the Stars just steamrolling the Oilers
Dude,
4-2 in the
Edmonton up
third.
3-1, and then now Dallas comes back up 5-3 with 3 minutes left in the third period.
Make it six.
They just scored.
Yeah, sorry, I'm ahead of you for a sec.
Fuck, bye, Jesus Christ! All right, but
Hopefully
excuse
someone
my
hit the
language.
over. Who hit the over on that one? There
Damn,
you go.
6-3. All right, that's a dagger in the heart right there. So, all right, well, we're gonna start this pot off hot. Ant's got some roller rumors he wanted to talk about. He said so.
Yeah.
Ant, let's drop it like it's hot. That's something that we love to do here in the RDN podcast world, and
Yeah.
really just the roller world. So
Let's get it
let's get us
rolling.
buzzing. Let's get the wheels wheeling, and let's get on the rink and start dishing it around.
Start spinning them. So we actually kind of touch on it a little bit in the interview with Vince about like rosters in general, and then you listen to the interview and you'll hear kind of our idea or Rob's idea really about how to kind of lock in rosters. But one thing that Roller always has every summer is rumors. Who's going where? What teams are coming back? What teams are folding? All that,
And
right? And
drama, dude. There's so much drama
drama.
in
Oh,
roller.
so much drama.
Canada,
Oh, Canada drama is crazy.
Canada
We'll get to
drama.
that too. But like even last year, like Rob, when we were at the Ameristar after State Wars, how many people were retiring and like it was just a
Let me
crazy
tell
like
you about the Ameristar Hotel.
yeah.
The
That brings up
Ameristar Hotel.
enough people.
The Ameristar Hotel in St. Louis is just one of a kind. There's nothing like it, and there never will be. That's the meeting of the minds after the tournaments.
Yeah. I think it's because like it's not crowded, so you could just like easily get drinks and
A
stuff. Like
staple.
yeah, it's just like everyone winds up there. Like I went to, I forget the bar, but we went to some like bar,
We went downtown. Remember who picked
yeah.
us up? It was Burger, Jirac. No, was it Burger with?
No,
No.
I thought we picked them up. I don't remember, dude.
No, we met. Yeah. That was.
yeah, but I remember we walked in and it was like just like, a handful of guys like Roadrunner. I think like Keith Johnson was there. I remember Della was there. So like we met them all out and then we always wind up at the Maristar anyway. So we should have just gone there from the rip. Um, yeah,
Javi's in there smoking a cig.
yeah, he don't care. The Mr. Javi Newports, but
I love Stavi.
what a legend. But yeah, so the roller rumor, since we
Hold on,
talked.
before we start roller rumors, so we're
Yeah.
all over the place, just like this game. But first, shout out to Stavi and Redmond. I know Redmond's birthday was the other day, but both got new pads.
Oh yeah.
Nice,
I
nice
saw
setup. Bauer.
yeah, I saw Stavi
Shout
put
out to Bauer for sponsoring this
some new
podcast, and they don't
slide.
even know it.
Stavi had some new sliders on there, and it's funny, Stavi's still using the old glove. I noticed he hasn't switched it. I don't know if he has another glove, but he's got like this green and white glove. I don't know what it is. I think it's
I
not
mean,
really.
gloves do take a little longer to break in.
Yeah, so
You know what I
maybe he
mean?
just hasn't broken it in yet, but I love how when I saw the video of him, I think he was playing rec league or something. He's wearing the whole new gear. He's got this like
Dude, that
green.
rink's nice in Connecticut.
Yeah, it is nice.
Ernie does some classes there, but yeah, it's a nice rink.
Yeah, so they have another sick barn. I forget what it's called now, but they have a couple rings up there. But
All right, let's
uh,
get back on this breakout pass here.
yeah, so back on the breakout pass. So some roller rumors. There's some movement since we knew the snipers. Without there being snipers, where were those players going to go? Right at the end of the day. So from what I'm hearing, Mr. Jumbo Jack Combs has been signed by the Roadrunners. I don't know for which tournaments.
No, 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 no.
He's been signed by the Roadrunners, and he's bringing along with him another St. Louis Mongoloid. And I say that with all due respect because I played with him last year,
You
Mr.
said
Travis
Jack
Combs.
Combs, correct?
Yeah, Jack Combs, Mr.
Jumbo Jack, the older bro, the
Jumbo
older
Jack.
one.
So, and he's bringing around Turnbull. So it's
Okay.
another St. Louis buddy of his. I would assume we're going to see Pat Maroon at tours as
Okay.
well. It's in St. Louis.
Okay.
So I've heard that he's supposed to be playing as well there. I don't know about the other tournaments since he's retired. Maybe he does, but St. Louis sounds like that's a definite. And then that brings up the question, where's Charlie Combs going?
I was just gonna ask that. So where's Charlie going?
I heard Black Ice has snagged Charlie Combs. I mean, he's
I
played
could
with
see that. He's played with them in the past, right?
yeah, exactly. Ooh, there's a bunch of fights, but yeah.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, let's get this playoff hockey, baby. Let's go. Oh, they're going at it.
damn,
Baby.
yeah, I love how people are gonna be watching this on a Sunday or whatever after this is not even live, but
This is insane, dude. Holy
yeah.
shit. Oh
So
God, they're getting it.
yeah, so and I know we actually for the Wings,
I love hockey so much. Sorry.
the best. No, you're good. I was saying for the Wings,
Wait,
we actually have
McDavid was on the ground
yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, now McDavid's on the bench. He ain't
No,
having
was he?
fucking yeah.
Dreisaitl's out there. No,
Yeah,
I'm
that's Corey Perry.
sorry. I'm high as shit, people.
That's Corey Perry right there, mixing it up.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so there's just a few that I heard. Vince talks about some of the guys he picked up in the pod, which you're gonna know already. So he picked up the two Czech guys. So that's a big pickup. Novak going with the freeze as well, not gonna stick with black ice. I know with us for the
Yeah,
win,
they picked up
we picked up
Loscott
T. Yeah,
and
we
they
picked
picked
up
up
T.
Jakob Bernard.
Yeah. We grabbed Teed for the wings to go
Ye-
along with Jeff. So he's going to be doing, I think, every like the Narch and Tours and State Wars. And then obviously we had Jasher last year. So I think they're going to split State Wars because Jasher is only going to that. And we're doing Narch with like all of our rank guys, actually. So,
Nice.
so Teed's a good pickup. He hasn't played in the
Huge
state.
pickup. Teed's a stud. You know, if you're talking about one guy that's really committed to the game
Oh, yeah.
and that really practice, works on his craft, guy's the man. And if you want lessons, go on his Patreon. Jimmy Teed
Oh, there you
goaltending.
go. Support the guy a little bit for fuck's sake.
Yeah, let's
But
go.
yeah, so that's what I've heard so far. And there's always going to be guys jump in or turn over and stuff like that. So, yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what the rosters actually are. We don't even have team lists and shit like that either. So, like, you never know, who's putting in teams. Like, I remember a couple years ago at Narch, I remember Frankie Mellon had like his team in there for Narch. So, Narch always seems to be one that maybe guys split up a little bit, and Tours always is guys combined because it's the first tournament in the summer, not everyone plays. So, I mean, another one's gonna be like, is Palma gonna go to Tours this year? Because with what was the one that didn't take the tournament that folded?
Who gives a shit?
I can't remember whatever the name was,
Who
Bearcat.
gives a shit?
But I think they were
Bearcat.
supposed to go to that. At least that's what the guy
Yeah,
told.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
Bearcat Nationals. That let's talk about that. Let's
yeah,
talk
but yeah,
about
well, I
that real
forgot
quick.
about that.
Yeah, what the fuck happened to that? Sorry for the language, but like
Yeah,
this
what
is
happened?
overtime edition. This is what
Overtime.
you're getting. So one, it's that was gonna be cool for the sport, right? You know, you're gonna do 40K up for pro,
Yeah, it's huge.
which is huge. That's a lot, right? Um, But just to talk about what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it, and say you're gonna shake up stuff, just do different stuff, like all this, and then all just to cancel and the same before even like attempting. Like, okay,
Yeah,
maybe don't do 40,000, maybe do like 10,000.
yeah. Just I mean, something where like you got to get your foot in the door.
You don't
Like,
have to go all out. Like, it's okay. Like, you can start some. Like, for example, Colorado Cup, second year that they're doing this, 10K already. Okay, just start somewhere. All right, and you go and buy a junior ice hockey team. What the? Like, what are you doing? Isn't that like what he did?
yeah, like he went and bought, I think it's like a junior, it's like a tier three like team. But at the end of the day, like you have to start somewhere and you can't just like go all in and just be like, oh, we're adding a big cash prize and everyone's gonna play in it. It's not how it works because these pro teams, a lot of them have some sort of youth affiliation, and if their youth teams are committed elsewhere already, you're not gonna get them to play in that tournament, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think there was a little bit of just like maybe excitedness on his behalf, which you can understand. You really want to start this thing, and like him releasing like teams were committed, and really there wasn't very many teams committed. At the end of the
There
day,
one
nobody
pro team
registered, nobody
committed.
put a registration fee up. Right? Like I think everybody was on the same page of like, okay, is this real? And if it's real, then we're interested. But if it's not real, we're not gonna like spin our tires on it and waste our money and shit. So. And it probably hurt most like some of those Canadian roller teams that could have driven in and played in that tournament, and it would have been nice, like easy one for them to get to. But like at the end of the day, you can't just have like three teams in each division. You need
Yeah.
like hundreds of
Dude,
teams.
see, and that's why like when we talked about on the pod with Vince about like the one thing that I think would be really cool for the sport and obviously you have to have like a national governing body or whatever, but like a roster lock or some type of system where it's like, okay, this is a sanctioned tournament and a pro series that is legit. Like, and nobody can just call it pro. I
Yeah,
know people get annoyed with like the pro talk, how they call a tournament pro and it's not pro. You have pro players in it, but it's
yeah,
not pro teams. And there's a big difference.
yeah. There is.
So that's one thing where it would be nice to have some type of stuff to kind of avoid of like youth programs and traveling programs have to commit generally a couple of months before they find out their travel schedule and you make your team. And then you're like, okay, this is what we're going. The parents are like, okay, this is what we're doing. And then for them to think they're going to a nationals and now they're not going there. Now they're like, oh, we're going to, maybe they weren't going to go to Narch, but now they're going to go to Narch. Hey, we're going to Cali now. It's like, dude, do you not see what you're doing?
Yeah, it's
So,
fugazi. It's what
yeah.
at the end of the day. So
Anyways, yeah, so see you later. They're out of town.
see you next
What's
year.
the other pro rumor for the roller rosters?
So the other rumor, I don't know if it's a rumor, it's just like it's a question, like, is Eton actually retiring? He's told us like a couple times that this is the last dance, things like that.
That's
But is
true.
he
Yeah.
retiring? Huh?
I said, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, like is he gonna play this summer? Like he loves hockey so much. It's his business, it's his life, it's his lifestyle. Like, is
It's a
he
one weird
actually
thing that
retiring?
you see with this team, though, like with Palma, is well, this year, I guess, but they really haven't had their full team, though, like for their any really tournaments. Eton's done a great job though with the Dangle Dojo and kind of entering his own teams whenever Palma's not there, or even when Palma is there to enter his team to make it more competition, right?
Yeah,
And that's what Eton through and through loves. He wants that competition. So, and that is it's big for the sport there to have another pro team there that has legit pro guys on it too. So,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm
it
glad.
is like it is weird though. Like, what is like that's the one weird thing. It's like, all right, what does the roster look like? Is Eton playing? Like,
And are they going to keep like Alex Kyle, who played with them in State Wars last year, right? Like, is AK staying on that roster? I mean, it would make sense, right? He scored a bunch of goals for them, had a goal. I remember that he had probably a pretty important goal in the
did you
playoffs.
see him in the teal? Could you see him in the Levada Freeze teal? Because I could. I
I
could.
I could, yeah, I could. I mean, that's again, it's you got two organizations now that and Car Shield included, right? But that have some money behind it, right? So they can maybe persuade some people. There's no rules against it, right? So
There's
you
not
know,
no rules against
no
it.
rules. There's no rules at all. It's the Wild Wild
Yeah.
West, to be honest with
It's
you.
the
But
Roller West, bro.
oh wow,
Yeah, the Wawa Roller West, bro.
I love that.
You got pucks rolling in the sport court, it's just is what it is, bro.
Is what it is. But yeah, so I mean, again, some tidbits, and I'm sure as we get closer and teams get registered and team lists come out, once we find out that information, we try to get those team lists as early as possible so we could do the rosters. We've the past what like 4 years, I feel like we've done a tours preview. Narch when
We cover
usually
the game, we do
going
everything.
on.
What are you
Yeah, we
talking
cover the
about?
game. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, we get more information and try to get the information as soon as possible to get
But
it
it
out.
is like annoying. Like the one thing that I would love, and maybe this is something we need to start, we need to do whatever needs to happen, but one, a roster lock of somehow on a certain date, all your rosters are locked. That's the way it is for a couple of reasons. One, it's probably easier to follow pro roller hockey at that point,
Yeah,
right? People might cover it a little more just based off of like, okay, we know this guy's on this team. This is what's going here. You can build a storyline easier off that, right?
absolutely.
Two, like you just don't have like you and it's roller. It is what it is. I love it. Like I'm not like complaining about it, but it would be cool. Like there's some teams that do win a Narch Pro or a Tours Pro or a Palma Pro, and it's like a mix of some other teams too, because one player or their team didn't go, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Like,
that's the one thing where it's like,
yeah.
yeah, so it would be cool just to see like of the full pro roller season, like this is your roster. They go to these 3, 4 tournaments. There you go. There's no complaining. There's no none of that because you see that so much. People complain so much about that. Like,
Yeah.
like one of the number one things. It's like, bro, like what do you want? Like, what do you want to happen? Right? There's no, it's not
Exactly.
sanctioned in the way where you can or can't do that.
Yeah, and like you said, like if you get that in early and often, that allows, to cover the sport better, right? Because now you're pulling people on, that so and so is going to this team, we can grab them and be like, hey, what was the decision in making, why you're going to that team and talk to them about what interested them about that team. Like there's like all these, like you said, storylines that you can kind of create. And again, I guess the drama is a storyline in itself, so it's like Real Housewives type
Yeah.
shit, but like
Dude, you could add trades. You could do trades. You could have
that's
a
what I was
free.
just going to ask you.
You
Like,
could
could
do
you
a free
imagine
agent
trades?
lists. Like you can actually make it like a real pro roller series organized like where it's actually ran like that, and you don't have to worry about rosters being in.
Yeah.
That rosters are set for your pro team. That's probably the number one biggest brutal thing, other than men's divisions too, is getting your rosters in, right?
Oh God.
Dude, it
Night.
takes us like day before to get half the rosters just to announce, and they're like, "Oh, actually, we changed this guy." It's like,
Yeah. Oh
dude,
yeah. Like,
just be committed. Like
yeah.
that's it.
8 minutes before the game, you're like, hey, by the way, our goalie is this person. You're like, what the? You didn't have a
All
goalie 8 minutes
right.
ago. I mean, dude, I went through it last year when we played State Wars with the Wings. Like, I'm like, thank God Chucky Slick like didn't get picked up anybody. I was able to grab him and his brother, right? Like
Yeah.
on a Monday, and the tournament started on a fucking Thursday. Like it
Yeah.
was, stressful, right? Like.
For him scoring 7 goals in a game.
Yeah, like I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, we got like 8 guys on this roster in the biggest tournament of the year. It's like, what the fuck? But again, like it is one of those commitment things too, like you said, with guys actually being committed, like and not flaking. So that is a problem. And I think the roller roster lock resolves that problem.
Yeah.
And and it may have, again, just like anything, it may have some gray area where it's like, hey, Tours is the first one, so your roster's locked by here. Narch is the second one, your roster's locked by here.
It's locked
What,
by May 15th. Like, get your
yeah,
roster
whatever it
in,
is.
be committed. Like,
Exactly.
what other sport can you just like? This is not like that, right? And people want to take it like talk about taking it serious. Like, what other sports you can just do that,
Yeah, 100%.
right?
So,
Like, if you want to make it serious, like take the things to do it, and then that way you're out of there. You don't have to
yeah,
worry about
exactly.
that. So,
Exactly.
um, but one thing I want to kind of go over the pond, over to Europe, Spain, France, Italy. So first, let's start in Italy because the Italian league is already over, and the Vicenza ended up winning the championship. You got Corey Hodge on that team. You got Nick Berger on that team. Um, our boy our boy Tobiah Van Dram. That the interview
Veterame.
we can never release because Ant
Oh, fucked
never
it
turned on
up.
the audio.
Now, I did turn on the audio. It's just the mics. I didn't realize when you're not going live with like one of the Bluetooth mics
Yeah,
that you have to hit the record button on the mic as well. So it's just
yeah,
basically just us two staring at each other. Like we should just dub it over. Be kind of funny at the
yeah.
end.
We could, but they ended up beating the. Sorry, it's Milano, which
Yeah.
Jakob Bernard's on his squad in 2 games to 3. So they ended up sweeping them, and honestly, like those games are entertaining. I watched the second game. That game was that they just go at it too.
Yeah, the Italian league's definitely the most physical, I feel like, out of all of them. They like
They
that
let them play a little more. Yeah,
that Asiago team's like psychopaths on that
yeah,
team. Like
yeah,
and the rink's like playing in a
yeah.
shootout.
What about that guy taking Tobias' leg out? Just totally like just
But
knee to him.
like, I mean, hey, if you're trying to, I guess, do anything to win some Matthew Kachuk type shit, but like he fucking went nuts. But
Absolutely.
but yeah, I mean, it is a little more physical league. I mean, I feel like the Italian league, it's fallen off a little bit in reality just because there's not as many imports in there, so they're relying heavily on the, people who live in
That's what
Italy.
they like, though, right? Like
That's
that's
what
what
they
the
like, and it's good for
what the
the
rumor is around the court.
what was that?
The rumor around the rink.
Yeah, so and it is good for I guess like the development of players in Italy. So I get the rhyme and reason for it, but it just for all intents and purposes, like it has like, kind of fallen off a little bit. And I feel like they just don't do a great job at promoting it like Ligue 1 Elite, like in France. Like they do the best job of promoting it.
Yeah, they're the best. But it would have been nice to see like because they had the Euro Cup as well. That went on. Molina ended up winning that.
Yeah.
They played Villeneuve, ended up beating them in the championship. And it would have been nice to see because Asiago went there to represent and another team, but also the Vicenza, they were in the championship at the time. So it was kind of like right around the same weekend, same time, so they wouldn't be able to have
Yeah,
went.
we'll be able to
So
go.
it would have, yeah, it would have been cool to see them there as well too, with Rattel, with Villeneuve, like the all like powerhouse true European teams. Obviously, Villeneuve is a powerhouse as well too, but just to see the top two teams from each division or each
Yeah, yeah.
there.
Like you were saying. And I don't know why they just don't do it at the end of everyone's season. Like it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Well, I mean,
So,
it's still going on, dude. It's not going to end until June. That's
yeah,
why.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
Um, but yeah, so in Spain though, we'll get in Spain. Molina versus CPLV, which is basically it's Jimmy Teed's team. So they're gonna. I think it's a 3 game series, right?
yeah,
That
yeah,
the
they're
Spain
all
plays.
yeah.
So Molina is undefeated this year. I'm pretty sure they've pretty much just been on a tear the last 2 3 years. They've won the Euro Cup 3 years in a row. Pretty sure they've won the league the last 2 or 3 years in a
I
row.
think it would be three, honestly.
Yeah, Mooney, Baldwin, they just got this connection, bro, that just is like it's unreal. So it's a tall task though, for
That
them
brings up
to
a good question though. Could you see, not to get off the beaten path with Europe, could you see Chucky like playing for Palma? Like since he
absolutely it's a no-brainer. Why hasn't anybody picked Chucky Slick up? Like, is he not on the boys' team?
I don't know. Like not this year because I think he was only planning on doing Narch. Don't hold me to that. So I'm
Okay.
not sure what he's doing, but
Yeah, I so that's also we're gonna go off topic too. This is the thing where I'm confused at, okay? That's going backwards because we're getting into this roller talk, okay? So you could do a couple things with like roller that I was kind of thinking about is you could do factory teams. So it's only sponsors. Labeta, Mission, Bauer,
and Grat.
Tour, Rinkrat. Like if you're Connex, if you're a sponsor, you have and you are your GM and you build your team.
Yeah.
Maybe Black Ice is the, Unifies team, or
Yeah.
whatever, right? That's who they are, right? Their team Unify, whatever. That would be really cool, to see something like that. Rink Rat though, okay, that's just an idea over there. But Rink Rat has a lot of good players that use their wheels that are like sponsored, that they're like they have their sponsor relationship that they could build a legit pro team.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why they don't. You got Chucky Slick, that's a big proud sponsor, partner
Yes.
of them.
Yeah.
Austin Koss, another guy. I know he plays with the OC Blades when he goes back there, but that's another guy too that is always using their stuff. Doesn't Jansko use Rinkrat as well too?
Uh Jansko,
I feel
yeah.
like he does,
Yeah.
right?
Mr. Mohawk, yeah, he
Mr.
definitely.
Mohawk, he does. You could build like a real, I mean, even European powerhouse team
It
of
would be sick. Maybe we maybe we just make a graphic at least of like if you took all the guys off their pro teams and
Frankie
make like
Jirac.
yeah, like Jirac, he's a Connex guy, right? So like who uses the Connex wheels? Like you would put all those guys together who
Yeah,
use the Lebeda. Like the Lebeda may have, a couple teams out of it, but like whatever, at the end of the day, like,
the
you know,
beta would
you
have
want,
15 teams,
yeah.
but no, like yeah, you do like a
It would be
Rinkrat.
cool though, for sure. Like that
Yeah,
would be sick if you had like, the even like the four wheel sponsors, right? Whoever, whatever it is, and had them make like factory teams out of it. That would be kind of sick,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, if you did that, but you're a legit sponsor, like maybe,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you're in this pro roller series tourney or, just tour of the summer.
Yeah.
If you're a sponsor of it and you're in the pro division and you are like a legit factory team that has like a product, whether it's Will or whatever, you can be a sponsor and you're the GM and you pick your own team.
Well, it's kind of like we compare roller a lot to like skateboarding, right? And skateboarding has like their SLS league, and they all represent their sponsors. I know it's an individual sport, right? But they represent their sponsors in it, and that's kind of what it is, just in a team aspect, which is really cool. Same thing like we talk about with golf all the time, right? With the PGA Tour, like
Yeah.
you're all representing your sponsor, Titleist, whoever it may be. So I think that would be sick. I mean, it would be sick just to see even the restructure of who would be where, you know?
Yeah. Hope people are following along. We're going everywhere on this, on the rink right now.
Overtime.
Yeah, we're in overtime. We're dishing it across.
Yeah.
We're
Making
regrouping, breaking
saves.
out,
Yeah, it's crazy.
dancing. We're toe dragging. We're doing some swaggy P shit. Yeah, we're just
Oh,
doing our
shit.
thing.
Skating through
Um,
airports, yeah, whatever we
yes,
need to
skating
do.
through airports, dangling old ladies, whatever you want, we're doing it, baby. That's what we're doing. All
Yeah,
right. So we're
yeah.
gonna go. We're gonna go over to France as well too. Okay. So France. Let me tell you about France. Ligue Elite.
Oh my
Or we
God.
are in the Ligue Elite. Okay. Ligue Elite. Final four. I just think they probably do the best out of all pro like leagues covering the sport. They just do a tremendous job. Every game's live streamed. Every game has a highlight. Everything is there, right? So it's easy to follow along and kind of just know what they're always doing, which is really nice. They're in the final four right now. It's Rattel and Grenoble. Grenoble took game one versus Rattel. It's the best game,
They-
best out of three series. They won game one over Rattel, which is huge. Rattel is always a powerhouse. I'm pretty sure they've been in the championship like the last probably six,
they-
7 years in a
yeah,
row. You know,
yeah,
and then on the other side, yeah, Villeneuve versus Verzone, and this game was insane. I watched. That was the one game I watched live. That game was insane. It was just a battle. And in Verzone, that rink is small. It's a very small rink,
oh yeah,
and they are the most annoying fans I've ever heard in my life. They have their horns, and it is going. It is
yeah,
going, going, going. But that was a battle of a game too. So I know game two in Villeneuve will be just as crazy. But both those games, unreal games.
yeah. I mean, like you said, it's nice to be able to watch. Like we talked about it before, like getting up Saturday morning, midday, whatever, whenever the game starts, watching some roller, whether you have it on kind of in the background or you're sitting down watching it, it's nice. And I mean, Grenoble, we talked about them, like how they used to be like a really, really strong organization. And they just had a huge upset against Hotel. So I don't know. Do you think they could pull it out? Like, do you think they beat?
Grenoble.
Yeah. I mean,
They go
Hotel's
back to
good.
Rattel. That's the one thing. So Rattel and Grenoble, they're going to go back to Rattel now. The one weird
That's a
thing,
huge home court advantage for Rattel. Like everyone says that their rinks, it's like dark. It's kind of weird in there. Honestly, it's kind of scary.
Rattel's,
Yeah, Rattel's rink.
it's
Yeah.
no, it's pretty bright. It's just
No,
different.
it's like yeah, different, very different. Is probably the
Yeah.
right word to use. Yeah.
Um, I think Villeneuve is one of the weirdest rinks. Like it's just like the fans. I feel like they're the one rink that you don't really have fan advantage. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like it's
The
good.
fans are behind the glass, like
Yeah.
it's just a little weird, right? Like a lot of them are on the side. So
Yeah.
for
The
zone,
benches are like underneath. Like it's really weird spot. Yeah.
yeah, so it's just different. Like there's what is it? Angers, I think, that has like it looks like it's in a basketball racquetball like arena, you know?
Either them or is that the one with they're like it's like
Anglet.
a Kodiak Bear Anglet. Yeah.
Anglet, it's Anglet,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, you have some really weird rinks there in France. But yeah, I don't know. Can Rattel like pull it off? I
I
mean,
mean,
can
if there's
Rattel
any
like
team that's gonna win two in a row, Rattel's probably, good. Oh, there you go. You pulled up the tag. Bauer. Brought to you by Bauer.
yeah,
Give us a sponsor for fuck's sake.
they are.
They kind of did, yeah. They kind of did. But
Yeah, so no, I think Grenoble, Rattel, they go back to Rattel. I think Rattel, they take that first game, and then anything can happen that third game. I just think they're just too experienced. They're too good. Those Czech guys, really, when it comes down to it, they buckle down and they win.
yeah.
So they deal with adversity pretty well. They're
Yeah.
just deeper. They're a deeper team. So I
Yeah.
I see Rattel take like winning game two, then winning game three back to
Yeah.
back.
They're a team that could do it, right, at the end of the day. So
Yeah, for
um
zone now, this is where it can get interesting. And when I say interesting, it's because they got a couple of gamers, and I'm gonna really deep dive on Verzone's team. They're
uh,
little crybabies too. I've never seen a team cry so much and whine over just like pure hockey plays. It was kind of ridiculous. I was like, dude, just stop. Like from the goalie to just like some of these guys. I'm like, yo, like it is what it is. The goal went in. Like it is right. It is what it is. But they
yeah.
got gamers. They got Jansko, absolute gamer, and you got David Baldwin too, that played on your squad too, and he's
Yeah.
a gamer too. Two
Yeah.
big, tall lefties, which
Big tall lefties.
goalie's worst nightmare is lefties, just
Yeah.
because when you're
Or
full
wide.
righty, yeah, just it's not something you're used to shooting on, right? Or
Yeah.
getting shot on. So I could see them like if they can win that game too. I think Verzone could take a lot of that momentum.
Get a
And
little wind out of the sails.
yeah, they also got Jan Virala, a Czech guy. He's nasty as well too. So they do got the team there. The thing that comes down to it is goaltending. Can the goaltender steal a game and then in game three? I do not know. The one thing that Villeneuve has is experience, depth, and very skilled players.
Yeah.
Uh, Probably the best goalie in Europe, Daniel Brabick as well too.
Yeah, and especially on those small nets, he just knows how to play on those nets too, right?
Yeah, and you've heard it from like I think it was Glover, one of the guys that said it to us that Carl Gabla is one of the best roller hockey
Oh
players.
yeah.
Like, just plays the game so smart.
Yeah.
Austin Koss, dude, he's just built for that league as
Oof.
well too. He
Yeah.
lights that league up. Plays a great combo of that hockey kind of style, but roller, and I think that's what really succeeds for him in that league. And then you just got that young stud, Frankie Jirak, that toe drag release, baby. That toe drag release.
Yeah,
So,
I released Frankie. He is
dude,
out the
he's nasty. When you're talking
oh,
about hands, probably
oh,
the best hands in that league, I would say.
oh, yeah. And he's
Uh,
great on that ring too because he's tall, lanky, lefty as well, right? Like he's just, he just like dances people in that league too
he
and toys
does.
them sometimes. And he always seems to have like a highlight goal a game somehow. And
He does.
Him and Costa have some chem. So
They
it's
do. They do. And then get to the arguably probably their best player. Just the guy that scores every goal that they need, right? Clutch. Guys clutch.
yeah,
Probably Selly's the hardest out of anybody on that team as well, too. Martin Fiala.
yeah.
He's a beauty. Like,
Yeah.
you probably watch his game. A lot of people will watch his game and be like, yeah, this guy's kind of cocky, kind of like, yeah, like he
Yeah.
just thinks
He's
he's
definitely
sick.
that. He's definitely
He
that.
is, but when you talk to him, he's just a beauty. Like you see it. It's just how who he is. That's his personality. And it's just
Yeah.
like
Playing against him, you hate him. If
you
he's on your
hate
team,
him.
you probably love him. Like I played against him, he was a prick, right?
He
But like,
goes, he goes, I was like, hey, do you think like there's a big reason why you guys won this year? Because they won League U Elite last year. They're the reigning champions. We interviewed
yeah,
him and Koss. He looks
yeah.
at Koss like, yeah, it's probably because you guys missed me and now Gold Scholar is back. And I just laughed. I was like, that's
He's
so
no,
funny.
he's a crazy individual. He's like the type of guy that like he played like the whole season to just like disappear in playoffs. Like he just don't even see. He just doesn't know call no shows yet. Like I can see him.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I told you it was going to, you were going to miss me. But
So, but that's another guy that it would be nice to see more over here. I know he's came over, played with the Shakers. Uh,
yeah,
it would be nice to see him on a team. I could see him really fitting in with him and Hawkins on a line. Jesus. Just kidding. Hawkins and him.
no bueno.
Yeah, no bueno. But no, that would be a player that you could see add just a goal scoring depth to a team that might just need you know, that extra goal, right? Because man,
He
when he
buries.
plays for Team Czech too, he buries.
Yeah, he scores all the time. So, I mean, I wonder, like, with the freeze, like picking up those two checks, like maybe he would go with those guys. I don't know, like on the freeze. Hey, it could be a
Dude,
guy to
Czechs are
pick
weird.
up.
It doesn't seem like
Yeah, I
get
don't know if
along.
like, yeah, I think they do, but I think I mean, there's one thing he told us, like he has a family as a kid and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true.
Maybe his summers are just spent doing that, right? It could be just that at the end of the day. But
We
I do,
got we gotta we gotta remember North American pro rollers is not everything. It's just a very
yeah,
small glimpse of roller hockey. They're over there getting paid like to do this. So
yeah,
it's a
their
little different.
summers are their off time at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So definitely true.
yeah.
Um, Sorry, my bad. Kind of went
Yeah, I
away.
was gonna say, yeah, I thought you were gonna, I thought you'd be like, yeah, well, we said we're gonna do a 15-minute guy and we're here for another hour run.
No.
But
But yeah, so any other roller rumors we got that we want to discuss?
looking at the list we have here, I mean, other than that, like, now, unless you got any El Paso roller rumors, I don't know if you have any roller rumors out of the El Paso Hockey League there,
Yo,
which
El
is a
Paso
pretty
has a nice
sweet barn,
barn.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty sick barn. They got like a
the
little
barn's
back.
nice. They got a mini hockey rink in there too, which is really nice. You can run some nasty two on twos.
Oh yeah,
3-on-3s you could still do, be a little tight, but it would still be really
it's just
good.
short, right? It's like pretty short. So
Yeah, it's wide though. It's wide.
you were FaceTiming the other day. They were playing soccer and you chirped the dude. You're like, you hit the post. You
Yeah,
hit the
guys,
post with a
like
soccer ball.
Chingawe. I'm like, calm down, bro.
I
Um,
mean, I think it's pretty, not to get too far into this, but like, I think it's incredible that people are traveling from Mexico to play in your
yeah,
role.
well, let me get into the league. So the league, it's a beauty of a league. One league, you got all different types of skilled level players from your, platinum, gold, silver, bronze, club.
Yeah.
You just keep going and you'll find one. Um, there's a couple girl. I think there's two or three girls in the league too. They're actually pretty good. They're actually not bad, which is pretty cool to see too. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
more girls playing in the league in general. We got a couple people from two or three people. I think they said from Mexico or like they'll come over and play, and then New Mexico too. People will come over, and then El Paso, Texas, baby, El Paso, Texas.
There you
So,
go.
but yeah, we got it's a fun league. We got Eric Torres, the boy, kind of helped me set up when we get down here.
Oh, yeah.
Really,
Man.
yeah, dude, he's a great guy as well too. Played for Team Mexico last year at Worlds. So
If you look at him, you're probably like intimidated because he's a fucking monster. He looks like
he's
a
a
linebacker, dude. He's a
yeah.
boy.
Me
He
and
has
him are on the same team, so we dance, we dish around, just we have a good time. It's
what
fun.
Rob's trying to say is he's low key tearing up the league with Eric Torres, and people are starting to get mad. People are starting to talk about it.
Dude, this guy, I'm gonna get into it real quick. So it was funny. Like, any league you join, there's always that one guy that's just kind of like a prick or just like a dick, right? And he tries to like prove a point or something, and he's usually older guy, generally an older dude with a gray beard or some shit like that, a little fat, has like a beer
Like,
belly. Um,
got Kevin
rock
pants
some
on.
old pants that don't exist
Kevin
anymore.
pants, yeah. Seven
Yeah.
pants.
Anyways, I'm not describing the guy. I'm just describing like what the guy would look like if someone was like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, some people just get mad when you are dancing, right? Like we're not scoring like 5, 6 goals each, right? Get a couple goals, stop, dish it around to everyone else, right?
Yeah.
We're losing, and I'm just kind of like laughing because I'm like, I have the puck in the corner, and this guy's really trying to get it. He's hacking, and I'm like, dude, like, calm down. When like people are kind of hacking on your elbows and your arm, but then they start going on your stick, and I'm like, bro, like, calm
Yeah.
down. So
Yeah.
this guy starts cross checking me in the back, and I laugh because I'm like, I turn and I'm like, oh, this guy's a big boy, but he can't move me. I'm like
Yeah.
150 on a great day. When I'm eating good,
Like
when
after that tortilla you just ate, like
yeah,
150.
like 160. I do. I've been pushing 160 lately.
There you
That's
go.
why he couldn't push me. But the dude like kept cross checking me and I laughed, so I kept it there for like 20 seconds moving it. And this dude just fucking just wearing out. So yeah, you just get a couple of those. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I
Just
mean, that's what happens when you have a league that's kind of just a mix of like, you know, higher end guys and lower end guys, and just because there's not enough there to make separate leagues, that's what's going to happen, right? You're gonna have guys that get frustrated, and it
but
sucks.
it's a fun league. Like I
Yeah,
love the league. It's good. Um,
it looks like it's got good vibes. Like when you
it
face
does, dude.
every
Great
day,
vibes.
like
There's no
yeah.
team locker rooms. You just get dressed with whoever, which is very weird to me. Uh,
Oh wow, that's
yeah, you just like, yeah, hey, like your team doesn't have a dedicated locker room. Just like, yeah, you just get dressed. I'm like, yo, I don't want to get dressed with a dude that I just like
yeah.
wanted to kill
Just
me.
went at
Like,
it
all
with.
right,
Yeah.
okay. Um, but yeah, some good talent too. Like Mikey Rivera. He played in the pro scene with the Outcast when we were younger too. I know he's in the league too. But it's a fun league. It's a really cool league. Great rank. They take care of it really well. Shit, dude, $50 fucking rec league. Why wouldn't I play?
That's it.
$50 rec league. I
Oh
play
shit.
Tuesdays. I play Tuesdays and Thursdays. Pretty much like a pro roller hockey now player because I play so much.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
one
think
day off of rest, back at it, coach. Just yeah, it's a
Thursday's the best night for roller too, because like you only have to get through Friday the next day. I know like Thursday at my rink, it's like a party. So like, it's like I love Thursday night hockey. It's like the
it's
best.
nice. It is
Yeah.
fun. So, but yeah, great group of people down here. Really fun. They also do have to. I got to put a plug out there for the Unify Thunderbirds. I know they're an 18U team too, but they are throwing their own tournament here in El Paso at the end of June. So end of June, any local teams around Texas, El Paso area still listening to this that do looking for a tournament, a warm up tournament before Narch, State Wars, or anything, El Paso, beautiful city, unbelievable, beautiful city. We got beaches. We got a big downtown. We got Mexico
Mountains.
right there. We got mountains. We got first class resorts. You got everything here. It's probably one of the nicest places in the country. So yeah, if you guys want to come down, Unify Thunderbird Invitational end of June, perfect warm up tournament. If you live in Arizona, you live close, and why not go for a weekend? Get the boys, get the wheels spinning.
There you go. Nice rank, nice location. And you get to hang out with Rob maybe. So
Hell yeah, dude! I'll be helping out with whatever they need there. So
there you go.
yeah,
Rob's
but I do got to say, like, the scene has very good potential. Like the 18U team, the Unified Thunderbirds, they practice before we actually do our like play in the rec league. They are nasty. There's a couple of guys that played for Team Mexico. They are gross. They are like actually good. They have a very good core. So like you see the potential here with these age groups, and it's just we got to grow it now here. We got to start at the grassroots, grow a Paso roller, probably take a couple medals at State Wars, go start going to Narch.
there you
We'll
go.
probably win some there too. Who knows? Maybe we'll start our own El Paso Demon Dogs team here. I don't know.
Oh shit, the El Paso dogs,
The
huh?
El Paso Chihuahuas. The El Paso Chihuahuas.
Oh, yeah, there you
The
go.
El
Yeah,
Paso
those are
Demon
feisty.
Chihuahuas.
I've never met a Chihuahua that was like nice, honestly. So
They're the
that's
meanest
not
things
bad.
in
They're
the
all
world.
feisty fuckers, so dude. They're just fucking blah, 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 blah. But there you
No.
go, the El Paso Chihuahuas.
Yeah, so that's actually their minor league baseball team here. So
Really get some Taco Bell type jerseys. Remember the Chihuahua Taco Bell? Like fucking
yeah, Yotini Taco Bell.
yeah, the tequila Taco Bell.
That shit's funny. All right, well,
Yeah.
thank you guys for joining the pod. There's a bonus pod for you guys.
Yeah.
Our shift is over. Overtime is over. We ended up scoring, so dished it over to I dished it straight over to Ants, sauced it over the stick. Ants 1T bar down.
And
Mexico,
then
we're
Rob got
out.
cross checked by the guy in the seven pants. So
Yeah, so we out.